Kings chapter 5, we see that Naaman is now healed. How did Naaman get healed? Who can tell me? Zoe. Washing in the Jordan River. How many times? 7 times. Now, I want you to tell me this. Who told, boys, this is your question. Are you ready, boys? Who told Naaman to wash in the Jordan 7 times? Carson. Elisha did. Ladies, who told Elisha to tell Naaman? Zaylin. Tristan. Who told Elisha to tell Naaman? Sasha. The Holy Spirit. God. God told Elisha. And then Elisha, through his servant, told Naaman. And Naaman went and did it. And that's where we pick up in our story. So Naaman is now free from leprosy, totally healed. And y'all, leprosy was a disease that ate away at your skin. It would even go as far to start, once it got done with your skin, guess what's next? Your muscles, your bones, your tendons. It would just start eating everything away. And so literally people would have like nubs, and it wasn't from surgery, it was from the disease. It was a gross disease. But the moment that Naaman dipped in the Jordan 7 times, he came up, his skin was all restored. Everything was brought back. See, God doesn't do things halfway. God doesn't want to kind of heal you. Do you understand? He wants to heal you 100%. God doesn't want to kind of make you prosper. He wants to prosper you 100%. God doesn't want to kind of tell you what you need to do. He wants to tell you 100% what you need to do. But guess what? It's up to us to walk by faith, which what is faith? Believing, speaking, and doing. So we can perform miracles by faith. Is it us in and of ourselves? Of course not. Without him, we are nothing. It's his power working through us to do miraculous things. So here we go. Naaman is healed. Let's look in our Bibles to we're going to start a little further back. 15. So he was clean. Verse 15. Look what Naaman did. And he returned to the man of God. Naaman returned to Elisha. Okay, follow the story pictured in your head. Naaman returned to Elisha, he and all his company, and came and stood before him and said, "Hey, now I know that there is no God in all the earth but in Israel. Like your God is the real God." Say, my God is the real God. Y'all, we serve the one and only living God. There's a lot of gods out there. There's Allah, there's Buddha, there's all these gods, the sun god, the moon god. There's all these gods that people serve, but guess what? There's only one true living God, and guess whose that is? That's our God. That's my God. Remember in Deuteronomy, my God deserves the praise. My God is awesome. So he says, now let me give a blessing to your servant. Let me give you some blessings. But Elisha said, verse 16, who can tell me what their Bible says? Zoe, read it. Yes. I will receive what? None. Nada. Nothing. Okay? Nothing. What does nothing mean?
Nothing.
Nothing means nothing, right? Nothing means nada. Nada. Zero. Zilch. Okay? Nothing. So Naaman comes to Elisha and is like, Elisha, let me give you a bunch of stuff. And Elisha says, sure. No, he says, no. As the Lord lives, I will take nothing. As the Lord lives, God has not told me to receive anything from you. And remember, Elisha only did what the Father said to do, said what the Father said to say. Same with Jesus. Hello, say same with me. So Elisha, even though all that stuff looks good, y'all, just because it looks good doesn't mean it's for you. Do you understand? We can't be moved by what we see. Just because it looks pretty doesn't mean it's for me. Just because I have the money for it doesn't mean it's for me. I have to be led by the Spirit of God. And so what did Elisha say? No, I will take nothing. Girls, I will take nothing. Boys, I will take nothing. He refused to take anything. So let's go on in our story, okay? All seems fine, right? Naaman's healed. Elisha's still doing his job, honoring God. And then it goes on to say this. So Naaman begged him, basically, in the first 2 verses, come on, please, 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 just take it. Please, please, I'm begging you. Please, please, please. But look what happens. And he said unto him, verse 19, Elisha said, go in peace. In other words, No, leave. Like we've already had the conversation. I'm not taking it. Why didn't Elijah take it from Naaman? God didn't tell him to take it. I have to be led by the Spirit. If I want to do miracles, if I want miracles to flow in my life and through my life, I just have to hear his voice and obey. That's what faith is all about. What is faith? Believing, speaking, and doing. So he said, okay, enough already. How many of y'all have ever been to that point with one of your friends where they're like begging and begging and begging, and you're like, just stop. Enough already. Anybody? Just stop. Or your siblings? Just stop. How many of your parents have been that way with you? You're begging and begging and begging, and they're like, just stop, right? Just zip it. Zip it. Go to your room and zip it, right? Well, that's what Elijah was like with Naaman. Like, bro, I want nothing, right? I don't want anything. Go in peace, right? May the Lord be with you. Don't let the good Lord, the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Y'all didn't get it? Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you. Have y'all never heard that before? You have? Okay, thank you. Now you have. Tell it to everybody. Just kidding. Don't. It's rude. Okay. So he goes on to say, look, but Gehazi, the servant of Elisha, he said, behold, my master has literally saved Naaman. Like, this guy's healed now. And look what he goes on to say. He says, how could he not receive from his hands what he had brought? But as the Lord lives, I will run after him and take some of it from him. What did Elisha say? As the Lord lives, what? I will take nothing. Everyone together. As the Lord lives, I will take nothing. Now Gehazi is saying what? As the Lord lives, I will run and get some. So who's hearing from God here? Elisha or Gehazi? Elisha. But what happened? Gehazi decided to do his own thing and put it off on God. Well, you know, God told me to do this. No, he didn't. Well, God told me to do. No, he didn't. Right? Elisha, as the Lord lives, I will take. But then Gehazi, as the Lord lives, I will go and take everything that he has. Right? Something's going on here that's not right. Now, what should Gehazi have done? When he started feeling like, hey, we deserve all that stuff, what should he have done? Cast down the thought. What else? Tell Elijah, right? Talk to him. Say, hey, Elijah, I'm having this thought. If you can't cast it down, if it keeps coming up, you got to have a conversation. Elisha, hey, I think we should have gotten it. Then Elisha could have told him, hey, buddy, I get it. All that stuff looked nice. But if we're going to honor God, we got to honor God. And so then Gehazi could have got in line. And what happened to him wouldn't have happened to him. So let's see what happened. So here goes Gehazi. As the Lord lives, I'll go and get the stuff. Okay, here he goes. So he's running. Okay, do you picture Gehazi, the servant, running? Okay, running. And then look what happens. So Gehazi followed after Naaman. And when Naaman, he's in his chariot, he looks back. Whoa, Gehazi's coming after me. He's running, dripping sweat, right? It seems like something's going on. So Naaman, whoa, right? Stops the horses, stops the chariot, and says, hey, Gehazi, is all well? Like, what is going on? And Gehazi, look what he said. He said, all is well. My master has sent me. Whenever you allow selfishness in your life, you will be a liar. Selfishness leads to lies. Where did lies come from? They come from me being selfish. And whenever I choose to be selfish, guess what? I will lie. I'll lie to myself. I'll lie to others. And that doesn't ever end good. Do you understand? Because all things hidden will be revealed. Someone's going to find out. And guess what happened? Somebody found out. So he lied. He said, my master has sent me, saying, behold, even now, go and get that stuff and bring it to me. And so Naaman said, oh, okay, by all means, right? Like, take it, right? Naaman was now manipulated by the lie. Not good. So he said, take it. You know, it's fine. So look what Gehazi did. When he came to the tower or back to the city, he took all the stuff that the servants gathered, and he put them in his house. So he lied. Now he's hiding and kind of stealing, right? He's doing all this stuff. Where did it all start? By being selfish. And the Bible clearly says, 2 Corinthians, write this verse down. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 5. Love does not seek its own. It is not selfish. So anytime I'm being selfish, I haven't embraced the love of God. I've embraced fear. And fear comes from the enemy. That's what the enemy uses. Isn't that what the enemy used with Eve? What did he tell Eve in the garden? If you eat the fruit, you'll be like God. And so now what happened? Now she's afraid, I'm not going to be like God. So then she became selfish. She wants to be like God. And then what happened? She ate the fruit. Where did it all come from? Instead of focusing on the love of God, she embraced fear that the enemy was feeding her. And then she became selfish. And the wages of sin is death. And so Gehazi clearly was having some issues. So he hid the stuff. He lied. He hid. But he went in and stood before his master. And Elijah said to him, hey, Gehazi, where did you go? And look what Gehazi said. And he said, I didn't go anywhere. Yikes. How many of us have ever done that? Right? We've lied, and then we've hid the lie, and then we've lied about the lie, and then we've lied about the hiding of the lie. Anybody else ever done it? Right? We've found ourselves there. And what ends up happening? He didn't just have to lie once, right? He had to hide, and then he had to lie again. But look what happened. See, as believers, I have to realize that I'm a spirit. So everything that I do is laid open. My parents' eyes might not see it, right? My Pastor Kathy's eyes might not see it. But God sees all. Do you hear me? God sees all. He sees everything. So it's never a good idea to lie or to hide. Because look what happened. The Spirit of God revealed to Elisha. And the Spirit of God, listen, will reveal to your pastors, and he'll also reveal to your parents. So there's no point. Well, I haven't been caught yet. Bro, watch out. The noose is around your leg, and it's going to snap, or it's going to hook you up at just the right moment to where it hurts you and it hurts your family the most. That's what the enemy's after. And look what it goes on to say. So he said, I didn't go anywhere. But Elisha said to him, didn't I go with you? Didn't my heart go with you when you went? Where you go, Gehazi, I go. So what was he saying? See, where you go, your parents go. See, it's selfish, it's foolish for you to think that you can get away with stuff. Everywhere you go, you are literally taking your parents' name. You're taking your pastor's stand. You're taking your church's stand. And most importantly, you're taking your Father God's stand. Everywhere you go, you're taking that. So if I wouldn't do this in front of Pastor Kathy or in front of my parents, I'm not going to do it. If I wouldn't act this way in front of Pastor Kathy, I'm not going to act this way at my house. Why is that? Because he said to Gehazi, where you go, I go. We're together on this, and we're a family. Do you understand? As believers, as children of the Most High God, we are a family. So guess what? Where I go, Titan goes. How do I know? What I do in the privacy of my home is going to affect Titan. Why? Because we're a family. What Zoe does in the privacy of her home, guess what? It's going to affect me. Why? Because where you go, I go. That's why it's so important that I honor, I steward the private moments of my life. Because if I allow sin and carnality, gossip, whatever it is, looking at bad stuff, if I embrace that privately, then what happens? That brings a spirit for all of us to deal with. Do you understand? You think, well, no, it's fine. I'm hiding it. I'm lying it. Did Gehazi hide that good? That spirit of greed? That spirit of selfishness? No, what happened? Elisha said, bro, where you go, I go. So you didn't just, you took my name and you made it something that it shouldn't have been with Naaman. You did something wrong. And now guess what happens? Look what it says in the Bible. He says, the leprosy of Naaman shall cleave unto you and your seed forever. And he went out of his presence, a leper as white as snow. The wages of sin is death. What happened? Because Gehazi didn't honor the voice of God. He got consequence, which was leprosy. He got leprosy. The very thing that Naaman was healed from attached itself to Gehazi. All sin will eventually come out. It will come out in your heart. It will come out in your family. It will come out. Someone's going to find out. Do you understand? Even if it is a private sin, it will be revealed. That's why it's so important that we find ourselves doing things we know we shouldn't do, that we humble ourselves, we get accountability, we get help. Because there is a major difference between your mom catching you doing something and you humbling yourself and saying, hey, I've been doing this. Do you know what the difference is? Humility. And he gives grace to the humble. But whenever there's pride, he resists the proud. And so let's take a look really quick at how this went down.
God's power came over Naaman and healed him. Because of his faith, he believed, and because he believed, he was healed. Naaman went to thank Elisha and declared that there was indeed no other God than the God of Israel. Naaman wanted to give gifts to Elisha, but he refused. So Elisha's servant ran after Naaman, lied about being told to receive the gifts so he could get them. When Elisha saw this, he cursed the servant and his descendants with leprosy, and immediately the servant went away, covered with sores.
Now, listen to this really fast. In Philippians, you can write it down 2:3-4. Let nothing, say nothing, let nothing be done through selfish ambition or conceit, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem others better than himself. We have to refuse to be selfish, because whenever I'm selfish, guess what? I am saying that everyone that's attached to me, I do not care about. I don't care about their life. Because listen, what I do behind closed doors is going to affect you. Yeah. Do you understand that? What you do behind closed doors is going to affect your influence. It's going to affect the ability for God to use you to do miracles. People that are sick, guess what? They don't need you hiding and lying. They need you walking in the truth. They need you walking in the light. Why? Because darkness and light, guess what? They do not mix. Darkness and light do not mix. I can't expect to live in darkness behind closed doors and then walk in the light. It's not going to work. I can fake it. I can put on. I can be religious, but it's not going to be sincere. That's why I have to eliminate darkness from my life. Why? So that miracles can flow through me. And so I don't set myself up for stuff like Gehazi, for the enemy to steal, kill, and destroy from my life.